Hello people, my name is Rage, and welcome one and all to Middle-earth, Shadow of Mordor. Let us find out if it is indeed worth the price. Now, this game has had a lot of attention focused upon it, and that's to be expected, as it is a Lord of the Rings game, though it is taking steps to try and distance itself from being associated with the typically Lord of the Rings-esque things, as can be seen with the fact that its title doesn't even include LOTR in it. This is a open world combat game. It is very much a combat game. The entire experience hinges around its combat. So I will tell you right now, if you do not enjoy the combat in this game, then it is not a game for you. But fortunately, the combat in this game is phenomenal. It is basically Batman, but Lord of the Rings, and that is no bad thing. So let's start with the actual world itself. I think it's by far the best world within the Lord of the Rings universe that has been made into a game, because it is very much living and breathing. I'm not going to go into the story too much because I don't want to spoil things, although the story is really quite light. It's just really a thin veil to kill orcs and keep killing orcs. But the world itself is really cool because it's like being immersed in a orc political hierarchy society type deal, and your actions actually matter, and at the same time, the world will progress without you. Everything does not hinge on what you, the player, does. They will get on with their lives, the orcs, they will have their fights, they will be promoted, they will die, and all of this can happen without you interacting with them, and that's pretty damn cool. So let's actually jump off this tower. You're probably itching to see some gameplay properly. Now, this elf dude is the ghosty man, and he is one of the main protagonists. The other one is our ranger friend, who was sort of fused with him is the best way of saying it, and that's what gives him his wraith-like abilities. The world itself absolutely looks gorgeous. It's nothing crazy good graphically, but it does look, air quotes, nice. So the first thing I'm going to do is probably jump on these guys and just kill them a little bit, because what you can do is slide down here, leap off, and then boom, right into the back of his head. Did that not just look pretty damn badass? Like running and jumping over them, doing all sorts of things. It's just ridiculous what you can do in this game. It really, really is. The combat is very fluid, very smooth. It just feels natural, exactly how you'd imagine it. Constantly comboing, turning around, blocking from behind. It really is Batman, but within the Lord of the Rings, and that is really, really badass. But we'll delve more into the combat later on. Back to the world itself. Here we have the map. Now, I am deliberately quite early on in the game because I don't want to spoil anything that you might encounter. These are all the various zones that you have to explore. The white icons are side or sort of objectives, things to find, which will reward you with some of the various currencies that the game uses. The gold ones are main missions, and later on there will be red ones, which are power struggles. And power struggles tie in very nicely to the living, breathing political nature of this game. If we go to Sauron's army, which is one of your main screens for your objectives, we can see a lineup of his captains and his war chiefs at the back. Now, they all have their own personalities, names, abilities, strengths, and weaknesses, but you don't always know them. In fact, we don't even know who most of the captains are at this stage of the game, and you have to slowly find them and kill them, and it really is quite cool, because, for example, if I killed Zog Hothead over here, no idea why he's called Hothead, I mean, it really is a mystery, another orc would be promoted to take his place, but because I don't know his weaknesses, it's kind of difficult to kill him. Also, generally, the further back a captain is, the powerfuler he is to take down and much harder of a fight. So that's the army screen where you can find out who your main target is for now. So if I set Mr. Hothead as my target, there we go, let's just mark him. He is now marked, which means he will be my focus, so we have to locate him. We last saw him on the Durthang Wastes, which is over here, I think. That's the one. That's That's the one. I knew that. I knew it was the green flashing one, because that makes sense. I'm an intelligent. But yes, the Nemesis system and why it ties in with the captains. The captains, being that they're orcs, they want power. There is internal political struggles. For example, later on, you can dominate the minds of orcs and make them under your control. So if I found a weak-minded captain, I could dominate him and make him try and assassinate a higher-ranking captain, or at least weaken him, so that I have an easier job of fighting him, because they all want to take power from each other. As is quite obvious, orcs and urks generally don't work that well together, and there is a lot of infighting and opportunistic killing and power grabs when they do come along. And what you just saw there was a little taste of the stealth system in this game. It gives you a lot of ways to approach how you do things. Now this animal here, we'll just quickly show you this, because I did not mean to be in the cage there. That is really awkward. Oh my god, this is... Yep, there is various events like this in the combat, such as move your mouse into the circle, press a button, rapidly tap something. There is lots of different ways of interacting with fights, and it is really cool. So, if I leap on this guy's back, there we go, we can dominate him, and now we have our mount. Lovely, and you can use this to travel around the world a lot more effectively, which is really, really useful. I mean, he can even parkour for you, so it really doesn't eliminate your movement options in the slightest. I mean, later on, you can try and dominate stuff like cave trolls, and the mounted combat is very simple. Just run at things and slash, and you will be very powerful, and you will get a lot of kills. So it's nice little touches like this to help you get around the world. And the thing is, you will need to get around the world, because while there is fast travel to these towers, they are very sparse, and you cannot rely on them to get you to where you need to be for missions. So you will be forced to explore and actually find things and go places and uncover the cool structures, and that's a really, really neat thing. So yes, let us... Ooh, is this guy here? Hey! That's awkward for you, really. Just gonna jump off my mount and stab you in the chest for some reason. I don't really know, but that's okay. So, did I just... Oh, didn't mean that. Didn't mean to stab you. But what I actually am going to do now is drain my mount now that I am done with him, which is going to give me more spectral abilities. If I hold right-click, I can slow down time and fire spectral arrows, or Wraith arrows, I should say, which are given to me via the power that the guy that I'm fused with is. So let me dismount off here, and then what I can also do is go into Wraith mode. Now, Wraith mode is really cool, because it lets you see enemies really effectively, as you can see through there, through that rock, at the other side of that valley, really far away enemy detection. However, it makes the terrain almost indistinguishable, so it does come with its disadvantages. And my mount there in the meantime was just tearing apart some orcs. So you see how I've dominated this mount? This is what you can do to orcs in order to get them to be your slaves, and you can actually rally up quite the army and make them fight for you, which is really, really neat. So I'm going to go see if I can quickly use my Wraith powers to completely mess with an orc. What I'm going to do is get rid of the majority of these. There we go. Then these two. Ba-bum, ba-bum. I'll show you the skill system in but a moment, because it really is quite nice. I mean, I realize I have had nothing but praise for this game so far, but it does have a few little problems that we will get to, which make it kind of... if that noise actually does anything for you, if that noise does anything for you, let me know. So what I'm going to do is, there we go. In fact, I might actually just kill my mount, because it's a lot easier. And I also have cool finisher abilities, but I need to activate it. And there we go, the execution, as you can see. I'm just going to get rid of one more orc. Boom. Come on, come on. Just need you to die, my friend. And there he goes. Now, I'm going to grab hold of this guy, and what I'm going to do is interrogate him using the powers of Wraith. I just keep throwing him forward because I'm like that. But yes, if we attach our ghost-like hands to his face, we are now dominating him, and we are going to gain intelligence, and this intelligence unlocks information about certain orcs. Now, we already know the identity of Mr. Hothead, so interrogating this guy didn't actually do anything for us, but it's a really nice way. Oh, in fact, no, we did actually learn new intel. We now know about Malmug Skullcracker, target located at the Black Road, but we don't really know about his strength or weaknesses, so it's going to be kind of difficult to just instantly go find him. And then, of course, we eliminate our guy in quite a brutal fashion. Now, decapitating people will start to sow panic around the Orcs, simply because they obviously would rather not get decapitated, and you can do some cool mind games with people. So let's mark this guy as our target, and we'll go fight him. Now, these are the main fights of the game. So let's talk a little bit more about the Nemesis system. I know I keep bouncing backwards and forwards between things, but it is for a reason, because there is so much going on in this game that it's hard to just focus on one thing. And actually, the parkour and world exploring, the fact that you can pretty much climb everything, is really quite good. To have a Middle-earth game with fluid parkour is a real novelty, and it feels really, really quite good. It's like Assassin's Creed almost, but it's much more towards a Batman-style system. So if I sneak up on this guy and assassinate him, you do get a lot of options when approaching missions. You can dominate Orcs, cause chaos, sneak around, interact with the environment, blow up explosives, drop flies on people, or you can go in swords blazing, Wraith powers active, and just fight your way through everything. So I have to find my actual target via using my Wraithly powers. There he is! In fact, that was kind of convenient now that I think about it. But I haven't learnt anything about him. So what I'm going to do is not actually... No, he's seen me, hasn't he? Has he seen me? Can't really... No, he's seen me. So I guess we are just killing him. And here is Malmug Skullcracker. Every time you find a new character like this, he will do a little cutscene intro like that, and it's dynamically depending on how you first engage him. It's not just the straight up same cutscene for everyone, which is really, really cool. But for now, I'm going to get a little bit of distance between me and him, and then going to my slow-mo Wraith mode. If I had dominated a few more Orcs, or perhaps found intelligence documents around the area, I could have learned what his weaknesses are, and you do get bonuses for using weaknesses against the captain. See, I didn't even know he could throw axes, whereas if I'd learnt more about him, I would have realised that that was something he was likely to do to me. So let's get rid of this pesky guy who thinks he can somehow interfere with my power. You cannot interfere. Nobody can interfere. Now, it does take a while to cleave through a big group of Orcs, but it is okay. Alright, now he is a weakened captain, which means we can now grab hold of him, and we're going to use his superior knowledge and rank to gain a lot more intel than your average soldier. Let's see what he has to show us. Who would we like intel on? Let's go for this guy over here. Mosfell Eagle Eye. He is located at the East Garrison. Interesting. That is quite useful. And now that we have got his intelligence, we snap his neck. But yes, the combat is very brutal, very fluid, and very, very fun for the most part. And I haven't even shown you the skill trees yet. And now that power we've just gained is a good opportunity to show you. In fact, we should go pick up the rune, because killing captains drops runes, which you can insert into your weapons, which give you various different powers. Let me just show you this system. If I go into here, we now have a bow rune from Skullcracker, and 31% chance that they will flee from a headshot, which is kind of nice. We have sword runes, and we have dagger runes. So if we go into our upgrades, you can see how the ability progression does work. We have 5 tiers of ability, increasing in power, and to unlock new ability tiers, you have to get enough power to do that. So, currently, because I am deliberately early in the game to not show you guys too much of note, we are only on tier 1, but I do have 1 ability point. So I'm going to get Elven Swiftness, and I will show you what that does. Basically, it just means you can run very fast after doing little hops, as you can see. The skill tree is presented in a really nice way. The videos explaining everything are really good and helpful, and you do get some really varied and cool abilities later on. Shadow Strike is a cool teleport that's really awesome. Here you can see the Grog Hunter, which looks fantastic, the ability to basically ride a cave troll, and then you also have your attributes, which you spend mithril points on, is what I'm going to call them anyway, and they basically just give you static boosts, which are just generally helpful, and then you can look at your progression through the game, and I don't have much, because as I said, I'm quite early on. You can specialize in ranger abilities or go down the Wraith, but you know, it's better just to take a mix of them. You do progress quite fastly and get ability points at a reasonable speed, meaning you always have something new to kind of look forward to. You never kind of feel sort of stuck. The story missions themselves are a little bit more advanced than just the open world exploring and finding, but generally not that much more so. And they do come with pre-rendered cutscenes, but for some people, the pre-rendered cutscenes are kind of breaking. The sound gets a little bit corrupted and just stops playing. It's really quite annoying. A lot of people have been having that problem, including me, so that is something to bear in mind. But yes, this open world parkour stuff is really neat. Now we can have a little drop down onto him, which is lethal. There we go. Taking out ouches is very useful because they do have good awareness of the surrounding area. Oh, there is an Ichidon artifact over there, but we don't need to get that. It's basically collectibles. You find them, you get a cool audio log memory, which you have to find on the object, which is actually really nice. This is the elven speed that I just got. You go over a jump like that, and if you press it after landing, you get to run quite quickly. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is a lot of the stuff that you're going to be doing in this game, and it's really, honestly, this game is a lot better than I was expecting it to be from everything that we did know about it, and I'm kind of happy with it. The only downside to it is that if you get bored of the combat, you are going to get bored of the game. Everything you do is killing people. You go places, you kill people. You can kill people in different ways, sure, but you're just killing people. You're just always killing people. There's never something that you're doing that doesn't involve killing various orcs and Orcs, and that obviously becomes a problem. You can even do cool stuff like, for example, this flower, you find it and it restores some health. Just little neat flavor things around the world, and then you get a new journal entry on it, and you can look at it, and just nice little extra bits, which do make everything a little bit richer. But yes, everything, and I cannot stress this enough, everything you do involves killing people. So if you get bored of the combat system, you are going to hate the game, and that is quite the problem. But fortunately, there is enough going on with the combat system that probably won't happen, especially if you were a Lord of the Rings fan. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, I can see this game being quite enjoyable for you. Now, here we are in a stronghold, which is quite the concentration of orcs, as you would expect, and quite difficult to deal with, but you are rewarded quite handsomely for managing it. Now, as we do know, there is intel to acquire over here, and one of the orcs that we are hunting is in this area. So if we have a quick look, and there he is, Mr. Scoff the Wanderer, the captain. Now, you do eventually uncover the identities of the warlords, who are the back row. Ah, we've got a new... Oh, no, we don't. What am I even talking about? I am a very silly. Now, this guy is obviously just dead, because I killed him earlier, and the guy that I killed at the start of the game has now been replaced. So let me, again, try and talk a little bit more about the Nemesis system. I keep getting distracted from actually fully going over it. If I was to run away from that captain that I fought, for example, he would remember me when I got back, and actually change his fighting pattern depending on how I fought him, and become a harder enemy to kill. Also, your death in this game is handled incredibly well. For example, if you die to just your normal average grunt orc, he will be promoted to a captain as a reward for killing you, which is really, really neat. And if you die to, for example, a actual already captain, there's a chance that he will gain enough power and support to challenge one of the warlords. Now, I don't actually... Oh, there we go. That was quite a waste of an elf shot, but I'm not too worried about it. So our target is down here, but the thing is, I want to learn a little bit more about him before I just have a go at him. Now, he's already a little bit injured, which is concerning. In fact, 2 of the named orcs are here, and this guy, veteran captain, we do actually know enough information about him because we got it from another captain. He's got a fear of ghouls, he is damaged by explosions, and he doesn't like combat finishers, but he does have a gang following him. He's quite fast, and he has all these perks. Now, these get quite lengthy, the strengths of guys, as they get stronger, and it's useful to study this information that you do get given before completely trying to fight someone. So what I'm going to do is probably have a go at this guy here and see if I can't do enough damage to him from starting. Now, fall damage isn't a problem, as you can see. You go into Wraith mode and it's totally cool, which does open up the world a lot more. Now, he's obviously gonna have, you know, noticed me doing that, but that is fine. And here, Scoff the Wanderer, his introduction. But yes, the one thing I don't want to show you is a main story mission, but honestly, it does play like most of the things you are seeing, so you really don't need to worry about it. My only concern is that, oh no, oh god, that's not good. That is really not good. And here is a finisher right through the eye, and then the head comes off. The other captain has been alerted, which is really bad, and he's raising the alarm in the stronghold, which, oh, I'm too late. The alarm has been raised. I didn't kill him in time. This is going to be a problem, and we may indeed see our death. Another cool thing is that if you were to have a fight with a captain, and for whatever reason it doesn't actually resolve itself, what will happen is when you get back, he will remember, for example, if you shot him with an arrow, and he will have a go at you for it, etc. Ah, he is running away now. So if I was to chase him down, I would be able to obviously kill him. But if he was to fully get away, the next time we meet, he will remember our fight and comment on it. And that is all as a part of the Nemesis system. But unfortunately for him, I am too much of a good shot and brought him down before he could escape from me, which is awesome. But I have to kind of get to him to acquire his rune, and now everything is going to absolute hell. Now, you will end up going through a lot of captains throughout the game. They keep springing up, they keep appearing, and the warlords are the main guys. But even they can change throughout the game, and you're mainly just focusing on dealing with them. Ah, so we have found something out about that captain. He is invulnerable to range, which is obviously a problem, as it's one of my main techniques. Now, I do want to actually drain this guy so I can acquire new elf shot ammo. Here we go, draining him. Come on. Boom! And then we'll see if we can't kill him. And here we have the final fight of the video, ladies and gentlemen, because I've pretty much shown you everything you need to see. The combat is really good fun, the world is nice, it's a good Lord of the Rings game, feels a lot like Batman, which is always good, there's a lot of abilities, the political and nemesis system is really good fun, the fact that things dynamically evolve and change irrelevant of your actions is great. But it all hinges on you liking the combat. That is the real crux of the matter. And already, after quite a few hours of playing, I'm like, it's losing its charm a little bit. It really is. Now, that guy I should have interrogated to get more info, and as you can see, I am currently in a fight that is going to be quite difficult to win. So we'll see how long I can go before I get brought down. I think this is a suitably epic end for the video, if I do say so myself. Come on, let's see if we can execute him. Yes, we can. Down we go! There are moments like that where you do go, oh, this is good. And then let's quickly slow down time. He is immune to range, so we'll just use this to get rid of a few random orcs that are with us. There we go, 3 of them gone, and just doing little things like that in combat is really cool, and I've not even unlocked in this save a lot of the combat abilities you do get later on, so while everything does hinge on the combat, it does get varied, so bear that in mind. In terms of it being worth the price though, guys, it's honestly very subjective. For me, I was just trying it out, so I'm going to have to say probably not, because I don't think I will finish this game, but if you are a fan of open world brawling, like kind of Assassin's Creed-y, and you love Lord of the Rings, then you will get a lot out of this game. You really, really will. I mean, look at the fight I'm in right now. It is really quite epic. There's no denying that. It is very, very visceral. Okay, come on, come on. I could totally take these guys. I believe in myself. Ooh. We may have actually nearly got him low enough to possess him, which is Very, very good. Although I doubt his friends will let me just casually possess him while this is going on. Let's get rid of a few. Oh, we are out of elf shot. That is not good. That is not good. Though we can just execute this guy. No, our Wraith Blade ran out. Damn. We are slowly actually winning this fight. That is quite incredible. I'm pretty happy about that. Go! Yep, there we go. Lovely. He can go down. That is good. Let's execute him. Boom, through his face. Looking pretty good. And then we can hit him with our attacks. Yeah, good commentary there. What we can do, ladies and gentlemen, is hit him with our attacks. But you can see everything that's going on. It is really visceral and just... oh, the fact that we actually managed to do that. And let's interrogate him and see what information we can learn. Now, later on, you can make these guys completely under your command, which opens some very, very cool interactions. Flak Karagor Fang, located in the Durthing outskirts. Interesting. Thank you very much, Mr. Captain. I'm afraid that now you are no longer of use to me. Goodbye. You are the weakest, Captain. Goodbye. And we acquire a new bow rune. Collect. Yeah, thanks to that game. I was like, is that the rune? And no, it's just telling me really pointless stuff. Oh my god! That's a sizable amount of orcs. I am going to leave and just make sure there's no one of note left in the area. No, there is not. I do want that rune though, so I'm going to quickly grab that. Come on, come on. No, get away from me. Throw him at him, which is really awesome to do. Just throwing an orc into a crowd of people. I really want this rune, but it means killing all of those guys. No, leave! But yes, guys, this has been Shadow of Mordor. Shadow of Mordor! I don't even know what I'm saying at this point. I really don't. I mean, you can do the speed thing even after vaulting over little rocks like that, so it is really quite useful. And yeah, that is what you can expect from this game. It is certainly better than I expected. It's a very nice brawler. The fighting is good. The open world stuff is nice. The dynamic world is definitely serviceable, but it all hinges on your enjoyment of the combat. There's no major thing apart from that makes it stand out as anything that bad, really. If you like Lord of the Rings, you will probably enjoy this experience. That is all there is to it. So for now, guys, my name has been Rage. Remember to like if you've enjoyed this and subscribe for more. Goodbye. You've been